7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, this is aabicus with the Spuff of Legend, and today I wanted to talk about an old forgotten game that I think other people on Spuff used to play as well as myself, but nobody plays it now. This game is current, actually, so I did play this right before recording it. I had to wait almost 30 minutes to find a match, and all these people disconnected right after this one, so I'm not exactly spoiled for choice on content to show you, but I did get one match in of Loadout, a very old game, and by very old I mean 2014 roughly. That was one of those TF2 killers that seem to come around every so often. And Loadout was a really good game, which is why I was feeling nostalgic and I decided to come back and give it a play. And it's still just as fun as it was, but I can't in all faith recommend anyone come over and play it at the moment because there's just really not a fan base or a community like at all. But I managed to find a game eventually, so possibly give it a shot if you want. It's a really fun game. It's very hectic. It's cartoony. It's inappropriate. You can see that when it comes to customization options, they let you wear some pretty not safe for work stuff. Hope nobody's watching this video at work. But in all honesty, this game does so many things right that it's really a blast to play. I didn't play. I was not playing very well today because this is my first Loadout game in oh man, probably over a year. But it's got the basic premise. If you've never even heard of this game before, is that you can make your own weapons, which is why it's called Loadout, and it actually does a really good job of giving you a bunch of different customization and modification options for whatever you've got your loadout. You really feel that you have made like your weapon and it's yours and it's exactly what you want. My two favorite weapons that I used to use when I played this game, and they're actually the ones that I'm using in this video. I'm using a basic pulse rifle, completely upgraded with just the basic stuff. So all it does is shoot little spiked cannonballs that deal damage. Someone on the other team is hitting the same type of weapon back at me, because I just like dealing reliable, completely normal damage. But if I'd wanted to, I could have been using rockets or lasers or kind of like a mine shooter or electric shooters. And then my secondary weapon, which is a fully upgraded pulse rifle that shoots Healy bullets, is like a secondary that I get a lot of use out of, and I frankly should have been using more in this video, because I basically tend to play a medic because nobody plays medic in this game, which is not unique to this particular game, but in particular nobody ever played medic. And even in this game mode, I think the reason that we end up doing as well as we do in this game was because I was running around healing everybody with my pulse rifle that deals a lot of heals. It heals you to reward you for healing teammates. It lets you overheal people. And then I also had heal grenades on top of that. That was because this was a control point. And heal grenades are really good. But I just remember loving my guns so much, even though they weren't even that special. I'm sure somebody else in the game thought of the brilliant idea of using the starter pulse rifle, just because I was able to upgrade them to exactly what I wanted. And my roommate at the time is no longer my roommate, but they used to use this really bizarre, like, 6.6 shooter rocket thing that shot like electric rockets in 6 at a go. And this game you didn't have to worry about ammo. It was like Loadout in that regard. You basically just got to fire your bullets as much as you wanted, which was a very cool design choice. There's no fall damage. This was an arena shooter, and it was very well done. For gameplay, I actually really can't think of much to complain about, except for the fact that the devs kind of abandoned the game. Edge of Reality was the company that made this, and people were praising them a lot at the time for how good this game is. It was free to play, and they basically went out of business. They disappeared off the face of the earth. Their forums got shut down, and there's really not much to do about them anymore. You don't hear from them, and this game is kind of dead in the water, which is why everybody abandoned it. It is free to play though. You can just jump in and give it a go right now if you wanted to. Oh, I forgot to mention, my Healy rifle does heal me just while I'm holding it, which is really nice. Even if you can't do anything else, just stand somewhere and heal yourself up, maybe capture a control point. Yours won't do that. If you play this game for the first time and decide to mimic my loadout by making yourself a Healy rifle, you'll find that it will not heal you while you're standing there, and that's because mine has been fully upgraded. Being a free-to-play game, this game is grindy as hell. You have to do You had to play so much to get these blutes, which you would then use to upgrade your weapon parts. And upgraded weapon parts were really awesome. They added a bunch of cool features, like the ability to heal yourself passively, and then let your bullets bounce around, or spiral or whatever. There's a bunch of cool things, and it just added to the variety of weapons you could complete. And I never really minded it, but with the difficulty in finding games today, it's part of the reason that I don't think you would be able to play this game anymore. And I wanted to go over why the game failed, because it's kind of weird. It's a really freaking fun game. Its basic premise of letting you build your own gun is very strong, and it definitely sells itself correctly. But everybody kind of stopped playing it, and the company went out of business. And really, I think the reason that Edge Reality went out of business was their cosmetic system. Because like TF2 and Overwatch and everybody else, they were going to try to make all of their money through cosmetics. I bought this nude skin using a way too much money. I sold most of my TF2 backpack to afford it, and I kind of regret that now. But the problem with their cosmetic system was that was really how it went. You paid real world money, or in my case, Steam wallet money, that I got from TF2 items. You bought these premium currencies. I can't remember what they were called. Space bucks. That's what they were. You bought space bucks, and then you bought cosmetics, and that's the end of the story. I mean, that sounds good enough. You'd think, like, you think that would work, considering the amount of games that use cosmetics as a purchase perk. But the reason that Loadout didn't really work was because the fact was that once you'd purchased one loadout, like me, you never purchased another. So I had my nude skin, and I never felt like dropping space bucks again. I have it. Perfect. They didn't have a crate system or any sort of rare items. There was no... there was no unusuals or anything like that, and unfortunately in today's day and age, you need something that will cause players to keep spending money if you're going to go the free-to-play route, and that's really what Edge of Reality forgot in Loadout. Because if they had, instead of you purchasing a cosmetic outfit like I did, if I had to buy crates and then unlock those crates in order to get a rare chance of unlocking my nude skin, I personally would have been really pissed off and not spent a nickel. But I'm sure other people would, and those people who do spend that money are going to just keep spending until they can get everything in unusual. And these people are referred to as whales in the game developer sense, because they are largely responsible for free-to-play games existing, and due to the lack of whales, this game unfortunately died. And honestly, that's my biggest complaint with the game, was the system for designing how the developers got their money, despite being a free-to-play market model. And I mean, really, that's probably one of the best complaints to have when it comes to a dead game, because the gameplay itself is so solid. I guess if I had to come up with a complaint about the gameplay, it would be the incredible grindiness with which you unlocked the modifications, but I understand that is a necessary evil for a free-to-play game, and if it still had a market, that wouldn't really be something to complain about. So I guess even though I'm telling people not to play the game, I was gonna say play it anyway, but I don't know. You had to be there. You missed it. Sorry. It was really cool at the time, but this game is still in 2014, and I am glad that I played it back when it was a thing, because I really got a lot of good hours in this game, even more so than games like TF2 and Overwatch, because you don't play in those games. You play developer created playstyles, and I really did feel like I made my own guy. I don't know if you've noticed, but in the top left corner you can see the name of whatever weapon I'm wielding, and the name of my pulse rifle is AF-14, which I chose because it was a gun made by Abacus Finch in 2014. You know, kind of the AK-47 style name, and that's really silly that I decided to name my gun like. But I think that's just a testament to how much I really loved my weapons, and I can't remember what 1HKO stands for. I think it's Health Kit Ordnance, and then it was #1 or something. You'll have to ask 2014 Abacus, who thought nude skins were super cool. But anyway, this game's wrapping up. I top scored because nobody plays this game anymore, and yeah, just looking back at Loadout, developers could learn a lot of cool things from this game, and I haven't really found anything to replace it.